And here he is, 50th anniversary, 40,000 plus people came just to get a piece of you. You must be exhausted.
I never get tired when I'm having fun, and I've been having fun all weekend.
Yeah, but 40,000 house guests?
Well, more than 40, I think. But they're smiling when they come, and they're smiling when they leave.
You charge around that floor. It's kind of unbelievable. The crowds press in on you. You're worth $70+ billion. Are you ever worried or nervous? I think people look at that and think, what's he doing?
No, I enjoy it. I mean, they're our partners, and it's great to have them come here. They came from 53 countries this year, more than 40,000, and we want them to have a good time.
Well, that's unusual in and of itself that you say they're our partners. Most CEOs, I don't want to say resent their smaller shareholders, but they certainly don't want to take 5 hours of questions from them, let alone walk among them. You're sitting there charging again through the crowd. You're taking selfies. You're letting people hug you, doing all kinds of things. You do a newspaper toss with them. Why do you do this?
I love them. And we have economic principles that we print in our annual report, at the back of the annual report every year. And the very first principle is that although our form is corporation, our attitude is partnership. And Berkshire Hathaway evolved out of a partnership that I ran in the 1960s, started with my family. And so I always look at these people as partners, and I absolutely prefer small shareholders to big institutional shareholders. I mean, I like the idea that we have over 1 million people and they're participating, and overwhelmingly they buy the stock as something to own the rest of their lives.
Well, not only do you love them, you say that you stick up for them too. You called Airbnb in advance of the shareholder meeting because you have people staying as far away as Des Moines, Iowa, and you didn't want them to get gouged with high hotel prices.
Yeah, we had a few hotels that went to 4-day minimums and things like that, and it's my job. I'm sort of the mother hen. It's my job to look after the shareholders, and I try to do that. Airbnb
jumped in. In fact, I think they even put your own childhood home up for rent.
Yeah,
in fact, I think they had a contest.
They had a contest. I think. Well, yeah, they paid a substantial sum to the person that lives there. I happen to know who she is, and then they had this contest for whoever wrote the best something or other.
In a way, you represent the all-American dream. Born in 1930, the height of the Great Depression. And 50 years ago, when you began to really formulate Berkshire, did you ever imagine that it would become a $360 billion company that is the third world's most valuable publicly traded company? Was that in your mind at all?
No, it wasn't. But we just kept putting one foot in front of the other for a lot of years. And I had this terrific advantage of having a long run and being able to do it my own way. So you ought to get, I mean, if you're going to work 50 years at something, you should get something accomplished.
But you talk about putting one foot in front of the other, and by doing so, sticking to your knitting, you've accumulated more than 80 companies with subsidiaries in and of themselves, but they're also diverse. Yeah. From an entire railroad at Burlington Northern to Dairy Queen. Yeah. What's in your psychology about what to buy?
I try to buy things where I think I understand what their economic future is likely to be over the next 5, 10, 20 years. And I try to buy companies that have great management, because we don't have managers to put in. We only have 25 people in the home office. And I try to buy them at a reasonable price. And when we find all three of those ingredients available, and I've got the money, I write a check.
You say kismet, that's it.
That's it. That's it.
Well, do you think it's possible, and I don't think people understand how you really began accumulating money, do you think it's possible for younger people today to do what you did, which is buy penny stocks, then sell them, and then take the profits and buy better investments as time went by, and then you're a billionaire?
Well, I think there'll be a number of young people out there that are 8 or 10 years old now that will accomplish it, and there'll be a whole lot more that try it and don't.
Do you remember some of the penny stocks that you first bought?
Well, they weren't penny stocks, but they were cheap stocks. They were not penny stocks. In fact, some of them sold at very high dollar prices per share, but they were so-so companies. They were not great companies like we try to own now, but they were cheap. We called them cigar butts because they were there on the street and kind of soggy and didn't look like very much, but they had one puff left in them, and the puff was free. And I sort of learned investing that way, and then my to-be partner Charlie Munger straightened me out after a while and said, let's buy wonderful companies at fair prices rather than fair companies at wonderful prices.